All right. Hey, welcome back to Not Penny's podcast. Been a minute, but I think we're getting back into things. I finally got around to editing the last episode about Boone and Shannon, and let's go ahead and get that explicit notice this time. Fuck ass Brian and bitch ass Susan.
Fuck those two bitches.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck 'em.
But we are back now to talk about episodes. I think it's what 14 and 15. Yeah, 15 and 16.
15 and 16.
15 and 16. I'm trying to back us up.
Yes.
15 and 16, we're going to talk about this is all about Homecoming and Outlaws, which I feel like when I look at these two, I feel like one is kind of a meh episode, and one is like the start of the like final act of the first season. And it just like starts you at such a, it's just like a bullet from a gun. And it's that way pretty much for the rest of the season. So Homecoming is kind of whatever. I think even Damon Lindelof has said that Homecoming is one of his least favorite episodes. But then we go into Outlaws, which has so much important stuff in it. And it just doesn't slow down from this point on. So it's go time pretty much like the last 9 episodes.
Perfect. I am locked in. I'm so ready for this.
Yep, locked in.
I see what you did there. Yes.
All right, so let's jump into Homecoming. Before we started recording, I said, I feel like Homecoming is just like a throwaway episode because I feel like it's like Claire comes back, Ethan comes back, Charlie shoots Ethan. Next episode. But you said there's a lot in the flashbacks, and there is in this one. So let's go ahead and get into this. You take a lot better notes than I do in that you take notes at all. I just watch the episodes sometimes at 2 times speed because I hadn't sat down and watched it before we started recording. That wasn't what I was doing an hour ago.
No, and then I threw you down that other rabbit hole. So
Yes, you did. You threw me down a whole other rabbit hole about Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, the like train wreck, ill-fated, just disaster of a Broadway musical that if we get into,
my favorite train
will be its own podcast.
Oh, sign me up. I'll do it. Like,
is it bad that if I ever met, I would never do this with Patrick Page, but if I ever met Reeve Carney, I would be like, oh my God, I love Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. And then he'd just be like, yeah, and then I did this little show called Hadestown. I could be like, what's Hadestown?
Spider-Man, though. Oh, right? Oh my God. I don't want to talk about Penny Dreadful. I don't want to talk about Hadestown.
Nope. He was eating on Penny Dreadful. So, all right. So let's get into Homecoming.
Okay. So we open the episode. Charlie is woken up because everyone is screaming for Jack. Because why not scream for Jack? Jack is, he's the only guy that seems to know what's going on sometimes. Or so they think. But he sees that Claire is back. She's being carried by Jack. And she's passed out. And crowd is gathering. But she opens her eyes and immediately starts screaming.
Yep.
Because she forgot Charlie and everybody, but mostly Charlie. Devastating.
Yeah,
devastating.
Claire comes back with like no memory of not even she had like the crash. Like she doesn't remember even how she got there. Yeah.
She doesn't remember anything, and that also means she doesn't remember fuck ass Ethan. So
we can't be fuck ass Ethan. It's got to be something else. Always wet Ethan? Why is Ethan always wet?
I don't know. That's in my notes later. I don't know. But so we learned that she remembers being on the plane, and that's it. So now Jack, poor Jack, has to break all of the news to her about the plane crash and just the entire past month of this is what you've missed on Glee, but for Lost.
This is what you missed on Glee. The longest previously on Lost in human history, as Jack explains everything that's happened over the last month. But we thought that we're 15 episodes in, and we've been on the island about a month.
Yes. So naturally, Claire has questions. Namely, why hasn't anyone come to get them? Well, how come there's no rescue? Like, why isn't anybody here? Good question, Claire. We'll circle back to that later. Maybe or maybe not. You gotta wait on that one, girl. So Jin asks Sun what she thinks is going on. So Sun still is acting like she doesn't understand English to her husband. So she has to do some pretty good acting by guessing that it's about the girl. Where I'm at, Boone is asking some pretty dumb but understandable, but still dumb questions about Claire. Did she escape? Where did she come from? Where did she go? Where did she come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Um, I've been sitting on these for
You've been sitting on this
weeks,
for a
bro.
minute.
Uh,
Yeah.
um, Locke, he's keeping everything pretty close to the chest. He's keeping his answers short, to the point, so he either doesn't know or he is purposely holding something back from Boone for whatever reason. Locke has his reasons. I trust the man. I might go to, like, eventually go to regret that, but right now, I trust that man.
I mean, nobody else is doing anything.
Yeah. And this is where I again reiterate that I write notes in real time as I witness things and I'm putting things together. And I have started anticipating what you're going to ask me. And now I say, since you're probably going to ask me what I think happened, I'm going to say, I don't know, man. She probably didn't come from the submersible bunker. Maybe the deal with the Black Rock is there some sort of amnesia related thing when you're around it. Also, just a really bad guess right there. I can't see Ethan just letting her go so easily. I feel like there's some sort of ulterior motive to this.
Yeah.
Obviously, like he's
I
not just
I
gonna be
always
like,
just
"Hey."
I always just said, Ethan's got to sleep sometime. They left her. They left her.
Yeah,
They
no.
left her. And they left her. They left her alone for too long, and Claire just took off,
Yeah.
ran off to
Just
work at a
wanted
shack, and
to.
went down to say one Ateneo.
So Charlie gives Claire back her diary, and like I kind of understand why, but also it's kind of weird when you have this girl's very personal item and she doesn't remember who you are.
Yeah.
So it implies
Charlie
right
in the
there, like,
diary.
"Hey,
That was
here's
a
your diary.
weird.
I read this, have it back. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't like it." Like, mm-mm. I love Charlie, but that gave me the ick a little bit. He's kind of dumb, delightfully dumb. Um, so just the idea that somebody you do not remember, you do not even know, could potentially have read this diary is just frightening because you don't know these people, but now they seem to know everything about you. I do not envy Claire in this moment. She asks who Ethan is, and Charlie's just like, he's the bad guy. She asks why Ethan left Charlie and kept her, and he sort of just dodges that, tries to get her back to sleep. And she's like, I'm not sleeping. I'm not much of a sleeper. And like, are we friends? Yeah, we're friends. Okay, sure, Jan. Uh, it's just like a whole weird interaction where he's trying to like maintain what they had previously developed before this bout of amnesia.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I don't know you.
It's like Charlie's more worried about her remembering him than he is about what actually happened.
Exactly. Exactly. And I take issue with that, Charlie.
I think
I
a
don't
lot of
like that.
people I think a lot of people kind of didn't really like that. And I think this second half, this kind of like right out of the withdrawal, like right kind of while still in withdrawal, but like kind of, recovering early stages of recovering for Charlie, I don't think are a lot of people's favorite time
Mhm.
of the character. But then again, you also have to go, I mean, yeah, it's not great because I mean it's writing, so it's not great writing, but in real life, he would be dealing with a much bigger thing. I don't think Charlie honestly would have probably ever
Right.
really truly gotten sober on the island. I mean, eventually, if you don't have a stash, you're gonna have to. But the show, I think, kind of makes that after a while, like they don't even mention it ever again. Like it's never even brought up. And it's like,
Meanwhile, it's like this big, huge thing.
yeah. Like in the middle of the season, it was a
Wow.
massive
Okay.
thing. It was a huge thing for Charlie. And then as soon as he like is like quote unquote clean, they never mentioned it again.
Because that's logical and realistic. But then
Right.
again, we are dealing with loss here. So
True. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong,
so
and as
we
we get
get
to
our
these later episodes, I'll be like, oh wait, I was
yeah.
completely wrong.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I misremember things all the time. So, which is why I take notes for this. So we get our first flashback of the episode. Charlie is quite obviously doing drugs before going to a bar. He's with this guy, Tommy, who is giving him this rundown on this girl, Lucy, as if he's been scoping her out for like a scam of sorts, whether it's a love scam, a robbery, a little bit of both. Um, but Charlie needs money because Drive Shaft is over, whether he wants to admit it or not. He's got to get some cash and quick. So whatever scheme they have seems to work as Tommy puts Charlie's song on the jukebox and watches, kind of like a cook, as Charlie charms 3 girls at once. Like,
Oh,
what in the
lost
world?
it.
That was the weirdest thing. It was so weird.
When I think I mentioned this just about
Very
every
good.
episode nowadays, but whenever it gets to the point where I need to read it again so I can see when's the point I could actually let you tell you where to find it and let you read it. The Vanity Fair
Mhm.
article about the writing on the shows at the writers' room and like the development team and stuff. When you read that, all of this will just go, "Yep, that tracks." Like all of it.
Okay.
It's
I'm excited for
I need to I need
this
to
time.
I need to read the article and see just to make sure, like, nothing gets because it came out after the
Gotcha.
show was over.
Gotcha. Oh,
Yeah, it didn't
that's
come out during
quite a
it came out
significant amount of
after.
time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the people that had
Okay.
to come out to talk against the show
Yeah.
were working on the show.
True. True, 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 true. You got some points there. Yeah.
Dang.
All right. So we're back in real time on the island. We've got Saeed, Charlie, Locke, and Jack are on the beach talking about Claire's reappearance. Saeed doesn't believe it's an escape. He thinks it's a ploy and that Claire might even be faking her amnesia, which is pretty suspicious, but again, it's lost. The island is mysterious. You never know. But this obviously deeply offends Charlie, and Jack still believes that the amnesia is possible despite how rare it actually is. Locke, being the logical man that he is, asks what the likelihood is of her memory returning. Jack's like, IDK. And Charlie takes even greater offense to that and decides to go find her and spend time with her. Because what is the best way to force somebody's memories back than to like force them to spend time with you?
Right.
Like,
Again,
I
all of this feels like is more motivated by Charlie being remembered by Claire and not losing what he has with Claire versus what actually happened to Claire and is it Claire okay?
Right, because what happened to Claire could potentially be extremely serious considering you don't just lose your memory for fun.
Right.
But what do we know? Charlie knows best.
Always. Always.
Good luck, Charlie. Uh, so Charlie catches up to Jin in the forest and he's just sort of talking at the man because Jin cannot understand what Charlie is saying. He's just like talking about how nice it must be to not be surrounded by all the insanity that they're all dealing with, which like I kind of get it because Jin can effectively stay out of the interpersonal drama except for Michael and the Watch. But also from Jin's perspective, that has to be extremely isolating considering he can really only effectively communicate with his wife.
Yeah.
So, like, Charlie sees peace and serenity, and Jin is just over here, like, can't understand you, man. Cannot communicate. So he's rambling on and on and on, and Jin spots something and motions for him to just, like, shut the fuck up. They're surrounded by a strange whooshing sound in the woods. Almost sounds like an arrow or a spear or just like a like when you're on the Indiana Jones ride and the
Mhm.
air cannons and whatever.
Yeah.
But there aren't any objects flying around until a rock knocks Jin out. And here we are with Ethan. And why is Ethan wet? This is like some drowned ass ghost behavior.
Yeah.
Like,
Ethan's
if
always
this were
wet.
the sixth sense, like, he's always wet. If he were a sixth sense ghost, Cole Sear would be seeing him all wet and angry because he drowned somewhere. But like, he also has some mysterious scratches on his face, like there's a struggle.
Mm.
Like nail marks from Claire, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. But Ethan's there basically being like, hey, Charlie, you need to bring Claire back right now. Like, you need to bring her back to me. Otherwise, I'm going to start killing your people.
One by
And
one.
he's
Yeah.
suddenly super strong. Yeah, one by one. He's suddenly super strong for some reason because he grabs Charlie by the neck and lifts him up against a tree. He does not look that strong. Man, has got to be an alien or a ghost or something. I don't know.
I wanna say when they caught up to him when he still had Charlie and Claire before they found Charlie hanging in the tree. I wanna say when he got in the fight with Jack that he was
Yeah.
pretty like, he was yeehawing Jack around pretty well.
It just caught me off guard because he just looks like this lanky thing, and he's like, "Ugh, this starts at dawn tomorrow, Charlie, bring her back."
Yeah.
Crazy looking Ethan. I do not like him. Back at the beach, Charlie is telling Locke and Jack that they should just kill Ethan. Locke doesn't want to because he thinks that would cause an uproar or scare everybody else. And Jack is on board with hunting Ethan down and killing him, which kind of surprises me a little bit. But I'm just like, Okay, sure, Jack. Do you have the ability to just go and kill a guy like that? You could not even kill the marshal to put him out of his misery. I I don't think you can do that, Jack. You talk a big game. Do not believe you.
You know, Jack is a flawed character. I mean, he's definitely Mr. White Knight and fix it, but when you push him, yeah.
I have yet to see that, so I will reserve my judgment until that moment happens, and then you'll hear me, like, go, "Oh my god, I didn't believe he could do it, but he did." But until then,
Trying to think,
I don't
you do see
it
it for sure.
okay,
Trying to think, it might be.
okay, okay. But Locke, he just wants to be strategic about this. I mean, come on, in his former life, he was playing, like, Risk or whatever on his lunch breaks. He was playing, like, strategic war games, so of course he wants to be strategic and keep the group safely contained in the caves and on the beach with just a few key people in the know of what's going on so they don't cause a mass panic. Jack really needs to get on board with Locke's idea for this one, but I'm clearly very biased. But the man knows military strategy here. Jack, you do not. You are a doctor, sir.
Jack versus Locke, that's like a thing. That's a thing for so long.
All right, so back at the cave, Dunn is tending to Jin's bruise. She asks what he thinks is going on, and he's basically like, how would I know?
Yeah.
Because, he can't communicate with anybody.
Right.
But, now would be a really good time for him to have some English lessons, though I know that would blow her whole secret cover of knowing English. But it's
Yeah.
kind of getting
Oh, no.
careless now, and it's not safe. It's not safe for him to not be able to communicate with anybody else anymore. So, like, maybe we should reconsider things. She says that maybe the others know, and he's just like, listen, I was attacked because of what they have done. So, for me, in this moment, the inability to communicate is just really driving a bigger rift between Jin and the rest of the group because he's getting hurt because of their antics, but also he can't communicate. They can't communicate with him. It's just a big old mess, and somebody should fix that. Don't know how, but somebody should fix that.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, so Claire's talking to Charlie and she's like, "Why isn't anybody else talking to me?" She feels like something's wrong because nobody's talking to her, and he's trying to assure her that nothing is going on that she should be worried about. We'll see how long he can hold up that
Oh,
facade.
read that last.
Okay. Yeah, let's see, Charlie. So meanwhile, we go back to our second flashback where Lucy brings Charlie home after their first date. She's offered to make him tea, and he is checking out or scoping out, perhaps, question mark, her china cabinet, but definitely casing the joint by the fireplace. Camera zooms in on this silver item that once belonged to Winston Churchill. Not sure exactly what at the time, because again, taking these notes in real time.
Oh, I think it's a flask.
It's a cigarette case.
Cigarette case.
I think it's a cigarette case. Yes. But times like this make me so glad that I was like friends with my English teachers in high school. I was like one of those kids that was like, hey, bestie, to my English teachers, because I'm like, oh, hello, plot device. I see you.
Yep.
Foreshadowing much? Interesting. So Lucy tells Charlie that he should meet her dad because he'll be home tomorrow. He agrees, and I'm just like, I have a very bad feeling about this personally, because like Charlie meeting her dad when he's casing the joint. Immediately, I'm just like, something's going to happen here. But of course, me being me, I'm just like, Charlie hasn't killed a guy, has he? Not yet. So back at the caves, Jack looks like he's sharpening a knife, and we get our first Kate appearance of the episode. She tosses him some fruit and tells him that Locke told her about just everything happening with Claire coming back, and she's trying to convince him to hand out the guns in order to properly defend everybody against Ethan, but he's just like, nope, keeping him locked up. Nobody's getting my guns. At the beach, Locke, Saeed, and Boone are making traps and planning guard shifts. Boone offers to take a shift, and Locke is all, absolutely, we're counting on you, Boone. And that does not sit well with me either. I don't know that I would want to count on Boone for anything. It feels like something bad is going to happen on Boone's watch. Charlie is trying to insist on moving Claire because the caves aren't safe and that nobody is safe, but we need to move Claire out of the caves. And Jack is just like, Charlie, sit down. Just stop. Charlie stops. Next flashback, Charlie is at dinner with Lucy and her dad. Her dad, surprisingly, seems to be very impressed so far. He asks if Drive Shaft is doing anything, and Charlie kind of has to admit that they are taking a lot of time off and that he and his brother Liam, not Gallagher, haven't really seen each other in about a year. And this is the first time in the whole series that you actually hear him say that he thinks Drive Shaft is dead. Because the whole time leading up to this, he's like, we're coming back, we're coming back. But here he's just like, yeah, it's effectively dead. He's then at the bar with his little cuck friend Tommy having drinks, and he's gotten a job selling copiers. So random. And Tommy kind of berates him a little bit because he doesn't find Lucy attractive. And Charlie's like, you know what? Well, I like her, and you're going to have to deal with that, Tommy. And there we are. There we go. He's supposed to be in and out of this just to steal an item to make some money, but he's just getting into a relationship, and clearly this is just going to go over so, so well for him, obviously. What is the worst that could happen?
Right.
Fires are set, right? Yeah, like what's the worst that could happen, Charlie? Like you're going to steal from her, but also you're just going to date her for a long time. I love this for you. What a great choice. Charlie in this episode, he made me like him a little bit less. So back on the island, the fires are set. Locke at the beach. Locke, Boone, and company are keeping watch. And Boone is dozing off because he is really not built for this. He's startled awake. Or, since I've been tricked by dream sequences and hallucinations before, I'm just like, is this a dream sequence? Because it's daytime now. What's going on here? Like, where are we time-wise? But he immediately takes off into the tall grass with a spear. He falls down, and my best friend Vincent comes into view. I love Vincent so much.
He's been gone for a minute.
Saeed, he has. I was so happy to see him. Saeed and Locke are close behind, and something tripped the alarm. There's a scream from the beach, and someone is collapsed on the sand. Oh no. What could possibly be going on now? Like, Hurley is questioning the security of the perimeter. Kate said it didn't matter because this guy came in from the water. And then she describes all of his injuries. He's got broken arms, his neck is broken, all of the bones in his fingers. Like, the man has just been obliterated.
Yeah.
We don't know how. We don't know how.
We just know that he came from the water, so Ethan apparently is the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Which explains why he is always.
Oh man, he lives across town from me. Yeah. So I don't I do not fully remember the context of this quote because it has been so long. But Steve drew the short straw. Dude, that was Scott.
Dude, that was
I'm
Scott.
assuming that's the guy at the beach. And I'm just like, TBH, this cast is so big that I forgot about Scott too.
No, you never met Scott. It was like some random extra. And so we're like, wait, okay, hold on. Like, he kills Scott. No, who's Steve now? Which extra is Steve? Like, which one of you is Steve?
Yeah, like you're just throwing people at me now, and I'm just like, wait a minute. I've been paying attention this whole time. They're just people I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. So Hurley is giving the eulogy at Scott's funeral, and then we cut to all of the people actively avoiding Claire again. Claire asks Shannon, why is everyone staring at me? And Shannon obviously can't keep her mouth shut. And is just like, what? You didn't know? And tells her everything about Ethan, about you have to bring people to me or I'm going to start killing them. Like, bring her back or I'm start going to killing everybody. And then she confronts Charlie about why he kept her in the dark. And he just wanted to take care of her, okay? That's all he wanted. And she's like, well, I can take care of myself. Like, leave me alone. Which, justified. You know what? Yeah, Charlie. Not the move. Next flashback. Charlie is looking quite dapper because he's all dressed up for work. I'm assuming oh, no, he's not looking dapper. I saw my next sentence. I'm assuming after a fix-free weekend because he's looking pretty rough.
Yeah.
He tells Lucy it's just nerves. She's asking him questions to get him prepped for his first day selling copiers. And he's just looking at that cigarette case and he's eyeballing it. And for me, it was just really sweet and kind of sad to see how Lucy is trying to hype him up and encourage him, knowing damn well that he's only going to hurt her in the end. Like, she is being so sweet, and it's so sad that he is just going to ruin everything because active addiction will do things to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. She surprises him with a briefcase and he takes it and now he just cannot get out of her house fast enough. He's like, I gotta get out of here. This is not the move. Back on the island, Jack and Locke go for a walk and Jack's pretty much asking what's gonna happen and whether or not Locke can track Ethan. Locke says he could, but he won't because Ethan has home field advantage in this situation. And then Jack offers Locke the suitcase of guns, which, interesting move there. Bold move. And I'm here for it, honestly.
I mean, somebody's gonna have the guns.
It's smart. Yeah, if you're gonna give the guns to anybody, the man had a suitcase full of knives. Like, what's another set of weapons?
Right.
Guns. So the guys want to use Claire as bait to lure Ethan out. Charlie tries to refuse, but Claire is, you know what? She stands up for herself and she's like, yes, I will do this for you. She can't remember Ethan or what he did to her, but she'll do what it takes to be rid of him. Charlie wants to go along, but Locke is very justified in asking whether or not he's even handled a weapon before. The answer is most likely not. So we are now back in our little flashback where Charlie is trying to demonstrate one of the copiers. He's fumbling because the withdrawal is setting in. The copier isn't doing what it's supposed to. And he's sweating and panicking. And then he just blows chunks all over the copy tray.
Throws up all
Like-
over the copier.
He just throws up everywhere. Everywhere. Oh my God. I was not prepared for that. Oh, that is a thing that happened. So, and immediately after that, we are back on the island. And Jack, you would think, was about to side with Charlie because he's like, you know what, Locke? Charlie is right. We have 4 guns. We should have 4 men. And he offers a gun to none other than my best friend Sawyer. And this is either a really good or really bad idea in the long run. I'm afraid to know which one it is. But it's a choice giving a gun to Sawyer over Charlie, but at least you can be pretty confident in the fact that Sawyer has handled firearms before. So there's that. Yeah, like obviously. If I had to choose between the two, I would also choose Sawyer to give a gun to. Yeah. Kate wants to come, but Jack says only the guys with guns can come because it's too dangerous. And it's like, wait, Jack had a gun this whole time too? There's enough ammo for the surprise 5th gun, so Kate's in. There's a surprise 5th gun in play.
Because apparently the marshal had 5 guns. Why would the marshal have 5 guns?
He only has 2 hands. Like,
Where did we get 5 guns?
oh no.
For some reason, I thought Saeed had gotten a rifle from Rousseau.
I don't remember. Because
There
didn't
was
he just sort of no, he didn't just like sneak out, but getting away from her was
there's actually a special feature on one of the seasons on the DVDs where they actually interviewed the person whose job it was to just keep up with who had guns.
that is one hell of a job with continuity right there.
I know. I was like, who has the
Oh
guns?
my
It's
God.
crazy. Yeah, everybody's got a gun.
Everybody's got a gun. And Charlie is just grumpily watching. Ethan hunting squad goes over their plan and leaves. But now begs the question, since Charlie is not part of this, like hunting squad and using Claire as bait, is Ethan going to be big mad about this? Because he said that Charlie had to bring Claire. Not that we care what Ethan says, but like technically speaking, Charlie was supposed to be the one to deliver Claire.
Yeah.
So Ethan's not gonna like that. You broke the rules, guys. Somebody's gonna pay for that.
Right.
Not good. It's dark
in
right
from the
now.
sea, apparently.
Right? Like Ariel at the end of Little Mermaid and a little sparkly
That's it.
giraffe.
When he's in the water, he has a fish tail, but as soon as he comes up, he can have legs. And that's why he helps.
Exactly. That's
why he's
how it
always wet.
works on this island.
That's why he's
Yes.
always wet.
Headcanon approved. So it's dark and rainy now. Claire is waiting for Ethan's arrival, and the gun squad is posted up. He comes, she screams and she runs. He chases her. Jack tackles him, and the gun goes flying. The gun just whoop. No more gun. So that's just out in the ether. And they're fighting, and I'm just like, how many more times can Ethan be taking punches here and withstand it? Because it was a lot. Like it was a lot. But then we get to Charlie took the gun. Charlie took the gun and shot Ethan dead. So if he wasn't already a ghost, he certainly is now.
Yep.
Claire seems hurt, confused, scared. Claire's going through something after witnessing all of this. Um, 10 out of 10 for Sawyer calling Ethan Jungle Boy, though. I really appreciated that. Like, Sawyer must be growing on me a teeny tiny bit, but it was a good one.
Yeah.
Charlie tells Jack that Ethan deserves to die, and Jack thinks that keeping him alive would have helped, but Charlie was not about to risk it. So,
Because now we can't get any answers. Who is Ethan? Where did he come from? Are there others in his group?
right.
We can't get any answers about what's going on. Why was she taken? Why is he always
Wasn't he?
wet?
It's really Canadian. Um, but wasn't Jack earlier in the episode all for killing him? And now all of a sudden he's like, Charlie, you killed the guy. Why'd you do that? Like, take a stand, Jack. Make a choice and stick with it. Like, no flips here, mate. Uh, so now we are back in Charlie's memories. He's looking real bad. He looks awful, terrible. He knocks on Lucy's door and he's trying to apologize to her. But as it turns out, the EMTs returned the cigarette case that he tried to steal from her father.
Yeah.
So now she knows. Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about that this morning, and it was very much like Laney Boggs and She's All That. It's like, was I a bet? Was I a fucking bet? Yes, you were. Like, sorry. Um, um, so she's reading him the riot act, deservedly so, but also asks why he even took the job if his only goal was to rob her in the first place. And he tries telling her that he wanted to be respectable and for her to think that he could take care of her. And she comes back with, "You'll never take care of anyone."
Yeah.
So now, oh my God, such a burn. So now Charlie's like fierce need to care for Claire makes sense, but he's also just going a little too hard
Going about
on like, let me care for you.
right. It's getting
Yeah,
it's almost becoming Stockholm syndrome.
yeah.
Like, oh, you took care of me, so I guess I'll love you.
Exactly. Like, that's not healthy, bro. Yeah, like, no. So, back in real time, we are finishing up the episode. Claire approaches Charlie and she tells him that she remembers the peanut butter.
Yes.
She still doesn't know what happened to her when she was kidnapped. It was, yes, the imaginary peanut butter. She still doesn't know what happened to her when she was like kidnapped or wherever she was with Ethan, and that she's scared, but she wants to trust him. And then she says goodnight. And that was that episode. Very Charlie heavy. It explained a lot about him, but also, ooh,
Very, very little happened on the island. Like, I feel like we gained
exactly. It was
it
mostly
was maybe
flashbacks.
like half a day. Like, we was maybe the
Yeah.
next day. That's all the time that's passed on the island. So it's a little that one, yeah.
Right.
So I feel like a lot of people were just like, oh, that episode. Because I feel like people say it's boring because there's just so much exposition, but none of that moves the story real far down the road. It's all like heavy on the flashback, which I mean, that's just how some of them are gonna be. Because that's you've kind of caught on.
Understandably so. And
This is kind of how Lost will tell the story from pretty much like forever is flashback. Like we flash
yeah.
back, we like go back to the island, back and forth, back and forth. They pretty much do that the entire time.
Yeah, because the flashbacks are either, "Here, this is how we're sent to Australia or on the plane to begin with," or, "Hey, this is why this person acts this specific way because of these things that happened to them." Like the episode with Michael and why he was so overprotective of Walt. We thought he was
Right.
being overprotective, but as it turns out, like his son was effectively stolen from him for his whole entire life.
Yep. And
Yeah.
it's all his kid before he got on the plane was when his kid was
I
a baby.
really get
His kid didn't know who he was.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it kind of
Exactly. So, Brian deserved to have his dog stolen.
All right, so that is Homecoming, which is what I said was kind of the last like toss away in that episode, but then it's followed by one of the better episodes of season 1, which is Outlaws, which is all about how we got Sawyer, literally and figuratively.
Yes. Yes. I I loved this episode, to be honest. Like, I am not currently the biggest fan of Sawyer, but this was such a good episode.
Yeah. This is a lot of this was
Oh
a lot
god.
of people's I think a lot of people's favorite episodes. It's I was actually looking up, like, different things as we're talking about stuff. Um, it
Mhm.
was one of the most watched episodes of the season, and it was also one of the highest rated, like, for, like, episodes, like Metacritic, 18 million viewers. Like, it's like
Wow.
yeah. So, because the one thing you're not getting during all of this is you're not getting the TV ads because there were
Right.
always these TV there's all like, on the next episode of Home Improvement or whatever, like on a very special Family Ties,
Wait.
all those ads. We got those for
Mhm.
Lost. So you knew kind of what was the next episode. You knew like where you were going. So people did I feel like people tuned in because it was going to be about Sawyer. And then it was this home run of an episode. So, I feel like this episode was I don't remember if Lost got I remember when they filmed the pilot as if they were never gonna get picked up. They filmed the pilot as if it could've
Uh-huh.
been like a movie almost. So, when they got picked up, I
Yeah.
think they got picked up for, like, 13 episodes, and then, like, very quickly, they expanded that out. So, I don't know when they found out about that or when this episode was originally going to air, if they got enough news, if they could kinda spread out, like, their plan of those 13 episodes and stretch it and add some stuff in. I don't know where this came
Mhm.
in, but I feel like it took a little while to get to a truly, like, a truly origin story flashback episode about Sawyer. I think isn't it this is the first one? Or have we
Oh,
gotten
yeah,
one
'cause we had
already?
Confidence Man. Well, we
Oh,
got
we did get
Confidence Man,
Confidence Man.
which was not like, it wasn't as massive as a background story episode as this one, but it foreshadowed this one.
This is the one that everybody found out, like, really about Sawyer, and you kinda found out why Sawyer is the way he
This episode is a banger. Like, the writing in this one, easily my favorite of the season so far. It's just I feel like I was texting you as I was watching this because I was also mad at you for not telling me that there is a very special cameo in this episode.
there is. Not the best cameo. That's coming.
No, it's not. I know, and I already guessed that one because I wouldn't leave it alone, but, like, that was on me. I refused to leave it alone. I hyper focused. I know. Um,
I really don't know how you guessed it, but you did. Um, but I never told you what it is. So and I'm not gonna tell you when it's coming either.
yes, you did.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Okay. Yes, you did. You told me what it is, but you did not tell me when, so I
Okay.
still have that.
Okay. Well, you'll
Yeah,
never see it
like,
coming. It literally
it's
comes
fine.
out of
This
nowhere. So
I'm excited. I'm excited because this one, I was like Leo in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood pointing at the TV. Like, okay,
well, that
let's
one,
start the
this
recap.
one's cool, but that one, it's like season 3, so
Yeah.
it's a
Okay.
little
Well,
ways away
this
still.
one, I mean, like, I'm a kid from the '90s who grew up on James Cameron films. Of course, this one is like, excuse me, hello.
So, you wanna hear something really, really funny and probably just
Yes.
absolutely just mind-blowing? I've
Yes.
never seen any of the Terminator movies.
What?
No,
Girl.
I've never seen any
Okay.
of them, and the reason why was because
Okay.
my parents rented T2 Judgment Day from Blockbuster or
Yeah.
whatever, and they were having movie night,
Mhm.
and I was in the living room, and it's the '80s, no one cares. So, my parents
Right.
are in the living room, and I guess Sarah Connor said "fuck" too many times, and my mom was like, "You can't watch this." And I just never went back and watched it.
Oh my
It's this most
okay.
ridiculous
So,
story.
I
Same thing with The Goonies. I did not watch The Goonies until, like, 3 years ago.
well, I can confidently tell you that T2 holds up better than The Goonies because while Jimmy Cams doesn't necessarily do very good writing when he writes his movies, the visuals are incredible. I will give that to Jimmy Cams. Like,
And I feel like I need to see the first Terminator before I see T2.
yes, yes, absolutely, but I do prefer T2 over Terminator.
I've heard that from a lot of people, and the same people are the ones that say that Aliens holds up against Alien, and Aliens
It's been a
being
while since
a
I've seen
James
either of
Cameron.
those, so listen, the man knows what he's good at, and his weaknesses are a little weaker than his strengths, but they're passable. I This is not a James Cameron podcast, though, so
But we are, of course, talking about the cameo of one Mr. Robert Hammond Patrick, most famously
Brian.
as T-1000 from T2. He
Terminator
plays Hibbs in this episode. So yeah, it was a crazy. Honestly forgot this cameo
Yes.
in there.
Yes. Okay, okay, I'm refocusing myself now. I got a little too distracted by the Cameron of it all. Um, so we open this episode on a flashback. Someone's dad is drunk and angry, and I should have known right away that this was a Sawyer episode because whose dad would be drunk and angry but Sawyer's, and maybe Jack's. But so the mom rushes in, tells the son to get under the bed and stay silent no matter what happens. And I'm just like, someone's gonna die, aren't they? Oh, yes, someone is indeed going to die. Because there is a huge fight. The mom is shouting that she's gonna call the cops. The dad shoots her and approaches the bedroom. You see cowboy boots approaching the bed. Your heart falls down in your stomach and out your butt for a second because you're like, this is getting a little too close. But whoever this figure is sits down on the bed and shoots himself. Like, damn, Sawyer, you had to witness all of that. That is rough.
He was underneath the bed, hiding.
And
When his dad shot his
underneath
mom,
the
he had
bed
shot
and
himself.
shot himself. And like at this moment, I remembered that he kind of told us about this already when he was explaining the letter to Kate several episodes back. It just took me a minute to pick up on it. I was like, oh yeah, no, we knew this part already.
Yeah, you did know this part, but
Sawyer
you
wakes
didn't
up.
think they'd show it.
No, absolutely not. Not on network TV in the early 2000s. That's some like AMC basic cable stuff. Like,
It's really
yeah.
one of the
So
darkest
Sawyer wakes
openings
up
of
and
the
hears
series.
weird noises. Yeah. Oh, it was rough. It was rough. So Sawyer wakes up. He hears weird noises. It's giving polar bear sounds, but apparently it's a boar. The boars are back.
Yes, this is the episode of Sawyer versus the boar.
Yes. So he chases after it in the woods and it's gone. He's alone by himself in the tall ass grass in the dark and he just hears a whole bunch of crazy whispers. I could not make out what they were saying, but they reminded me of what Danielle had warned Saeed about forever ago, like just
Yeah.
the whispers.
And that's one of the
Yeah.
kind of like one of the
Yeah.
first
So,
scenes is Sawyer and Saeed, him asking Saeed, "What did you hear?" And he's like, "It sounded like whispering."
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mysterious whispering on the island.
So,
Right.
very, very mysterious whispering. Saeed also asks Sawyer, who looks like he's trying to clean up his whole entire life after this boar, about the boar, because we thought all the boar was gone. Why was it in your tent, Sawyer? Like, what was the boar doing in there? And Sawyer essentially threatens him, and he's like, when I come back and find all my stuff gone, I'm coming after you first. Like, don't go rifling through my shit, basically. But Saeed has a point. Why were the boars why was that boar in your tent of all of the other places to go? Like, what are you hiding in there, sir? Respectfully.
Secrets.
We'll have to wait and see. Secrets, yes, that's why his hair is just the way it is. It's full of secrets.
Sawyer always hides secrets.
He does. So Jack asks Saeed, actually calling him by his name for once. Love that for him. We love growth over here. What he heard when he was in the jungle. And Saeed, oh, yeah, that was Sawyer, not Jack.
Yeah, we'll ignore the fact
My notes are whatever.
we'll ignore the fact that at first he called him Muhammad.
Yes, but he finally called him Saeed for once.
He does. When Sawyer means business, he
And
uses names.
yeah, but when he's just being a silly, goofy guy, he's just like, "What up, Freckles, Jungle Boy?" Yeah, and this is where Saeed tries to explain it away. He's like, "You know what? I was hurt. I was exhausted, but I thought I heard whispering." Um, he is asked what the whispers were saying, and now that Saeed is locked in, he's like, "Wait a minute. Did you also hear the same whispers?" But no, no. Now just denying that he ever heard anything. And I'm just like, Saeed is onto you. Saeed knows what's up. He knows that you heard something, and now he's feeling a little less crazy. We got our next flashback, and adult Sawyer is in a hotel room with a woman doing what he does best, aside from annoying me every time that I see him on my TV. But lo and behold, there's a guy lurking in the shadows of the cuck chair. And I know that this character is apparently named Hibbs, but damn it, he's still out here looking just like he did when he was
When
after
the light
of
comes on.
Fernando Valley. If they've seen Sean Connor,
When the light comes on
oh my god,
and it's Robert
beautiful.
Patrick sitting there, you expect the first words out of his mouth to be like, "Where's John
How do you
Connor?"
do, boy?
Right. Even though I've never seen that
He
whole.
looks exactly as he did. Well, yeah, but you have seen Wayne's World too, so
I have. So I do know who he is in Terminator. I don't know anything about the character, but I do know like he's like the cop that's also a Terminator and Liquid and yeah, who runs all weird.
yes, yes. Apparently, that was actually, like, his real run. He recently posted videos of him, like, redoing the run. I'll have to find it and show it to
This
you
is
later.
how he
Like, these have
actually
been all over
runs.
my Instagram for some reason lately. Like, he actually ran that fast that, like, during the motorcycle chase scene, they had to tell the stunt driver to drive
I
faster
saw this
because
clip because he
he almost
caught
hit
him.
him.
Yeah, he was like,
Yes,
first take, I actually caught him.
I love this man. Yeah, yeah. And so
So yeah, light comes
so
on
this
and it
woman
is this
obviously
man
has
named
questions, like,
Hibbs. Yeah.
it is this man named Hibbs, and the woman quite reasonably has questions, like, "What is this man doing in this chair? Like, I did not agree to any of this, like,
Yeah.
the fuck, Sawyer?" And Sawyer is just like, "Get out, like, I need to talk to Hibbs, like, get out of here."
I'll meet you in the
As
bar.
soon as she's gone, Sawyer throws yeah, like, "Go get a drink." Um, as soon as she's out, Sawyer throws him up against the wall and does his whole, "I thought I told you that I would kill you if I ever saw you again," spiel that, "Ugh, I'm a big tough man."
Fuck.
And Hibbs
He
says
took
he's here
fingers
to
from the doors.
"Hey, told you, get over here. Never
If
seen
you
you
ever want to
again."
sound like Sawyer, just do a Matthew McConaughey impersonation, but talk all through your teeth. Just a much,
My god. And Hibbs is like, "Listen, I'm here to make it right, and I know that you are not the killing type." And he throws down a manila envelope. Jack is like, how does this make us even for the Tampa job?"
The Tampa
I don't know what the
job.
Tampa job is yet.
I was like,
I was excited
as
to
soon as
hear
he
about the
said the
Tampa job.
Trampa job, I was like, that tracks. That was 100%.
I mean, yes,
The Clearwater Con. There was something.
the St. Pete swindle. Um,
That St. Pete swindle. Why do those
well,
cons
every
always
Tampa
have
job,
those
I cannot
names?
wait.
I don't know if you ever find out what the
Don't
Tampa
know.
job was. I don't think you do.
Oh,
Unfortunately, there is no payoff
I
for the
was
Tampa
locked
job.
in for it.
I don't think there is.
Damn it. Oh, man, okay. So Hibbs tells him that he's got the known location of the man that ruined Sawyer's life, and immediately I sit up. He has my attention. I'm like, "We get the actual Mr. Sawyer? We get to meet Mr. Sawyer in this episode?" I'm excited. Like, also, I just need to establish now that just about every flashback these days, aside from the already confirmed how they got on the plane, I find myself wondering if this is finally the flashback that confirms how a person gets on the plane. Like, every flashback now, I expect an eventual payoff of, "I'm at the airport now," or "I'm in Australia now." And I'm like, all right, here we go. So this is how Sawyer effectively ends up in Australia and on that damn plane because Hibbs has tracked down the real Mr. Sawyer, allegedly.
Yeah.
Oh, that heavy on the allegedly.
Really quick, what
So Hibbs makes yeah?
I was looking something up because I was does the Tampa job pay off? Now, I don't know if this is actually true or not.
Huh?
I do know this for a fact that Matthew Fox originally was read for Sawyer. And there's a clip of Matthew Fox doing a monologue where he talks about him and three other guys pulling off a bank robbery in Miami. But this monologue has never appeared in any of the scripts. So we're wondering if this was possibly something that may have been put in
The
this
Tampa
episode and was
job.
cut out, and then they just renamed it the Tampa job. So if you need some payoff on the Tampa job, it was possibly a bank robbery.
Okay. Okay. I'll accept it. That
So there
seems
you go.
fitting for him.
Yeah.
Okay. So Hibbs makes himself a drink, starts talking about some guy named Old Man Parks working a wire in Sydney. And I was like, damn it, I knew it. Sawyer is going out to Sydney to confront his Mr. Sawyer. Yeah, buddy. Like, this guy living under the name of Frank Duckett is actually Frank Sawyer, allegedly.
Yeah.
And it's so on. So the next question is this how Sawyer ends up in the Sydney police station with Boone? Because a few episodes back, we got the little glimpse of Boone in the police station. And I was like, hey, there's the boy. Like,
I'm trying to think. I was like, yeah, that wasn't part of the hallucination. That was actually when he goes to try and get the police involved in what's going on at
yes,
Shannon. They bring Sawyer in
correct.
for questioning. Right.
And it's sort of just like a walking by. Yes, it
Yeah.
just, I love how this episode branches out but twists itself back into other things. I love the callbacks and so good. So
So we got to film this weird pickup shot. Why? It'll pay off in like 6 episodes.
exactly. Just wait for it. It'll
And we're gonna film 2 scenes here because you're gonna get 2 different episodes, 6 or 7 episodes apart, but you're gonna get one side of the scene in this one and the other side here. So what's cool is like if you get the scene with Sawyer in that police station, in the back of that scene should be Boone.
That's true. Oh, that's gonna be good to finally see that one.
Yeah, when you get that.
So I'm gonna get that. Yes. So back in present island time, Jack and Kate are doing something with the suitcase of guns. Kate asks if anyone asks where the guns came from, and Jack is like, no, but everyone knew that there was a marshal, so they probably assumed that the marshal was traveling alone or on terrorist duty, so to speak. So don't worry, Kate, you're safe. Like, marshals travel with guns.
Does
It's
not
fine.
explain why he has a case of them, but okay.
No, not at all. No, not at all, but, sometimes it be like that. However, all but one of the guns are back. So that means that Sawyer probably still has his gun somewhere, unless I'm assuming that somebody else kept his gun. But I'm going with Sawyer probably still has his gun stashed.
Yeah.
So let's hope he practices responsible gun ownership so that it doesn't end up in the wrong hands. But, that's the oldest storytelling element out there. So obviously something bad is going to happen with this gun if it is not tracked down in an expeditious manner. Like, Kate says that she can get the gun back, and Jack wastes no time reminding her about how that fared for her last time she tried to get something out of Sawyer, because he's not jealous at all about the whole kiss inhaler incident.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah. Oh, that worked out so well for you last time, Kate. So we cut to Charlie, and he's fiddling with something that I'm not sure what it is, but it kind of looks like one of those old school foot measuring things from Payless, because it's just long and metal and narrow. Like, it looks like a foot measurer.
A foot measurer. Yeah.
Claire, that's the best way I could describe it at the time. Claire sits down. He asks how she's feeling, and she's just like very pregnant. And she tells him that she's had some dreams and he was in them. She asks if he wants to go for a walk, and he's like, nah, I can't. But meanwhile, you just spent all of the last episode trying to spend time with her. So this be the perfect time to spend time with her, Charlie. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. Sawyer is back in the jungle, and he finds exactly. So Sawyer's back in the jungle, and he finds a tarp. Oh, no, there's the boar. He's still looking for the boar. He hears another whisper, and the whisper says, now go back around. Like, this is one of the whispers you can actually hear. And there's the boar again. So is the boar, is the boar following instructions from the whispers? Like, what's going on with the boar and the whispers?
Actually,
The boar runs so and knocks him on his ass.
I think it says it'll come back around.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But there's
It'll
definitely
come
like
back
the back around. Yeah. So the boar knocks him on his ass, and I am left wondering about this connection between the boar and the whispers, because, like, that's not a coincidence for me. Kate tells him to have Locke take care of the boar, but Sawyer is adamant that he's going to do it himself. And you know what? I believe that he has it in him. Out of all the other people on the island that are not Locke, sure, Sawyer can do it. Maybe. We get our next flashback, and Sawyer is on the docks in Sydney, presumably tracking down one Mr. Frank Duckett. He buys an illegal gun, and the seller tells him that there are no refunds if you chicken out, because gun laws are way more restrictive in Australia than they are here. in the States.
When you pull a gun on a band, you find out who you really are.
Yes, that too. That too. Um, Hurley is helping Charlie bury Ethan. Charlie says that he could handle it, and he's just like, you know what? If I killed him, I can bury him. And Hurley, I I love this because this is exactly something that I would say is he's just like, yeah, until he rises from the dead. And I'm like, exactly though. Because like we don't believe that I don't personally believe that Ethan is dead just yet. Like he went a little too down too easily from that gunshot, but also I consume way too much zombie related media to trust that a dead person is actually dead when you're on the Lost Island. Um, you never know. And for some reason, they just give us this lingering shot of Ethan's exposed hand as they're digging. It's so unsettling.
I know,
And
like
again, I don't
like
trust it
when he
because
the flip
I watch way too many zombie things. Yeah, I watch way too many zombie related things. The Walking Dead was my life until about season 7 when I got mad and rage quit. So I'm just expecting the fingers to start wiggling. Like they do not, but I was waiting. I was waiting for it.
no. I think I
Oh,
feel safe in telling you that
that
Ethan is
does not happen. Okay, good. Girl, bye. Um,
Ethan is dead.
Hurley asks Charlie if he's okay, and Charlie just sort of ignores him. Something's off with Charlie, and Hurley notices. So he goes and asks Saeed about PTSD, except he first calls it Gulf War Syndrome. Was that week? Yeah, something. Yeah. And Saeed was like, that was the other side, my guy. Like, but he's genuinely worried about his friend, and he thinks that Charlie might need some help. Very cute, very understandable. Like, Furley, you're a good guy.
That Gulf War syndrome, that was the other side. That reminded me so much of when Hurley asked him, was he ever in the service? And he says, "Oh, cool, yeah." And he's like, what war? And he was like, "The Republican Guard." And Hurley's just like, "Oh yeah, cool."
Yeah, exactly. Fine.
And we got another callback to you people being terribly racist.
Exactly, exactly. Kate catches up with Sawyer in the jungle, who seems to be doing a really bad job at quote unquote tracking the boar because Kate makes a joke about it possibly being Boone or Charlie based on the stride pattern. She offers to help in exchange for getting what she wants, aka the gun, but when she wants it from him and not on his own little Sawyer terms. That does not bode well either, because Sawyer's gonna Sawyer, but he's gonna track down this boar by himself, damn it. But also, like, he still has airplane bottles a month after this crash. I was surprised by like the fact that there was still a stash of alcohol on this island a month after the crash. That would have been gone in a week in the real world.
Depending on when they find it, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, Sawyer seems to have found it the very first day. Like, so then of course, Sawyer takes the opportunity to start being creepy again by playing a drinking game version of Never Have I Ever. And we learn that Sawyer has never been in love. We learn that Kate has been married. And this is how Sawyer finds out that she killed a man. And so has he.
Yep.
So, did he kill Mr. Sawyer, or is he counting the marshal in this body count? Or why not both? I guess we just have
Right.
to
We
wait.
don't know if it's 1,
But
2, 7. We don't know.
2? Well, yeah, we have no idea.
Yeah,
But
we don't
I
know
was
how
just
many people.
media.
We just know he's killed the marshal,
Right.
which technically he didn't,
Right.
because the gunshot didn't kill him.
He just no, everything else did.
Yeah, the gunshot just made him suffer.
You know. Right. But Sawyer just lost me for a minute. He was starting to get me back, and then he had to just pull the creepy drinking game with Kate because of course he did. Uh, Sawyer. So we get our next flashback. Or maybe not, because Sawyer was dreaming of the boar was he dreamed of the boar was his dad's feet. The whispers go back around again, but the boar came back and only ate Sawyer's stuff. Oh, in the morning. All right. And then they hear the rustling in the woods, and it's just Locke. Locke shows up and he's like, "What's up, guys?" And we get a piece of Locke lore because he tells a childhood story about his foster mom after his sister's death. A golden retriever walked into the house and looked up at her, and she started to cry. The dog stayed in his sister's bed for 5 years until the foster mom died. Foster mom was like convinced that the dog was the sister.
Yep.
Grief is wild like that. Like,
Yeah, this was such a good
yeah.
story. This was such
Yeah.
a good story, and Terry O'Quinn did such a good job delivering this monologue. Um,
It was so
like,
good.
I was sitting there watching it going, "God, this story's so good," and I'm like, "Why is he making me think that this boar is, like, some manifestation of Sawyer's guilt?"
Right, exactly. That's my next sentence, actually. So I'm like, so is Locke trying to equate this boar to Sawyer blaming himself or feeling guilty for someone's death? Because, like, I don't know that I can see him feeling guilty about killing the original Sawyer, which is very funny that I wrote it that way, considering how this episode ends. So, but yeah, that's essentially what I got from it too. Is the boar a manifestation of his own guilt? Um, so now we are actually in our flashback where Sawyer approaches Frank's shrimp van. He looks like he's going to chicken out. He's getting nervous, and ultimately he chickens out. And he finds his way to a dive bar with none other than Jack's dad.
Christian
What?
Shepherd in a bar in Aus
What are you doing here? Surprise, surprise. I mean, like, we knew that's what he did, but the fact that he met up with Jack and got day drunk with Jack,
Sawyer.
I was shook. Sawyer, that's yeah, sorry. It's been a long day. But, like, the fact that he met up with Sawyer and they got drunk together, I'm like, "Okay." Twists and turns, the gaggatry.
But the scene
So
between of us is just so good.
it's so good. It's so good. Of course, it had me worrying that maybe Sawyer kills him because
Yeah.
I'm automatically like, "Who did Sawyer kill? Sawyer, why did you kill this man?" Like, he does not, but it's just weird for me seeing Christian talk to someone normally because any other time we've seen him, it's with Jack, and he's, like, arguing, and he's angry, and he's, like, condescending, but he's just talking to Sawyer like he's just hanging out. It's just deadpan talk about Australia being hell and suffering and the Red Sox not winning the World Series. It's a whole turn.
Yeah. That Red Sox never win the World Series line is so good. And
It's so good.
honestly, it comes up, like, in the show, like, 2 or 3 times.
Uh-huh.
Well, or at least in
Yeah.
reference to
So
the Red Sox. References to the Red Sox come up a few times.
right, right. So then this whole time, piggybacking off of Locke equating the boar to Sawyer's grief or guilt or whatever, I'm just over here wondering to myself, quite incorrectly, does he think that the boar is punishing him for killing Christian instead of Frank? Is the whispering Frank? I have so many questions. What is the whispering? What is the boar? What is the correlation here? Sometimes I'm a very good guesser. Other times I am a very bad guesser. But I work with what I have in the moment, and I just let my intrusive thoughts and questions fly, and then I go, "Okay, yeah, no,
And see
I
what's
was wrong."
funny is I haven't been taking notes of them, and I should be. I don't think you've had any yet. Something that where you are on a path of belief that obviously if you've probably been listening to us this entire time, but I've watched the show. I watched the show in the original broadcast. I've rewatched it multiple times. Rebecca is watching it for the very first time and has no idea where anything is going week to week. So you haven't really had any like dead sets where you're like, I think this. And you're like, "So I'm gonna plant my flag right here in this." And in my mind, I go, "That is so outrageously wrong, but I'm not going to correct it." So we haven't gotten to one, but we're also halfway through the first season, and I feel like those are gonna be like season 3 type theories when we try to start
Yeah.
piecing things together because we naturally just want to figure things out. What I'm worried is that you're going to figure things out, and then I have to cleverly find a way to lie to you or, like, distract you away because I'm like, "I don't want you to know that yet." Like like that.
Well, I I'm also just currently at the stage where I'm collecting and observing the evidence and just sort of filing it away. Though I will
You're not
say
making any
that
accusations yet. You're just going room to room
no,
and
no,
guessing weapons,
exactly.
suspects.
Exactly. Exactly. But I will tell you that I don't think I told you this. I went out to, like, a couple months ago. I went out to the dive bar, the pirate-themed dive bar in my town because, of course, there's a pirate-themed dive bar in my town.
course, they
And
live in Florida.
on the TV,
I'm more shocked that there's only one.
exactly. Well, it's next door to a tiki bar that's owned by the same people. So, um, but on the TV, there was like this video that was a misdirect because it was an opening of another episode, but it was actually just like a scene from Lost that they used to open another episode of a completely different show. And it was like these people in the house watching the plane crash and like the plane breaking up. And
And so at least it wasn't like, later stuff.
no.
Um,
No, it was the plane crash and, like, the front half going where it went and then the back half going, but we also know that I fully believe that the back half of the plane is a completely different story that we're going to see later on. So I don't feel like it spoiled anything for me. I was just like, "Oh, okay, that's a thing." Like
Um, I was gonna say, if it's talking about how Lost pops up like randomly in other things for a while there in the early, like those early 2000s through, it did, from time to time. Jimmy Kimmel had
Mhm.
somebody when Lost was airing, like during its season, every Thursday, Jimmy Kimmel would have one of the cast members on the show.
That's crazy.
Like, that was a weekly thing
That's
from the
crazy.
jump to the end. He did massive things. Towards the he did a whole, like, Lost, like, finale special, like, he did a huge thing for it. And we'll have to see if we can find all that stuff so you can actually watch it, like, as we get to this later.
Yeah. I would be down for that.
But one of the things is if you've never seen it, don't watch it till later. The
Mhm.
Judd Apatow movie, This Is 40, with Paul
Okay.
Rudd and Leslie Mann.
Yes, and Leslie Mann, yeah.
Okay, if you've never seen it, don't watch it because it's not a massive
Lost
stuff.
shows up in there too?
Yeah, their oldest daughter on the show is like big into Lost, so she's constantly watching Lost, and they show the show a couple times.
Oh, okay.
And I wanna
Okay.
say they actually, like, because I wanna say that movie came out after the show was over, so they
Prior
actually
to.
show, like, the finale.
Oh, jeez.
They show her, like, processing the finale. I was like,
Jeez.
so don't
Okay.
watch This Is 40.
Okay.
If you've never watched, don't watch it again
I have
until
not. Okay. No, I have
that's
not.
that's not how I want anything to get spoiled for you from a Judd
Right?
Apatow
No,
movie.
it's bad enough people got mad that I made you tell me that Vincent's in the finale. Like,
Oh my god, and to get us kind of back, because we got revealed in the last episode that so many people in, like, the 1st or 2nd episode of our show got so mad at me because I told you that Sawyer's real name was James, and I was like, "That's not that big of a spoiler." Like, that's
it doesn't even really matter in the grand scheme of things.
right, and, like, the only reason it matters because you realize where he I didn't tell you where he got Sawyer from.
No.
I knew that Sawyer was the name of the con man. I knew that. So and that he took the name as some weird, like, way of processing grief, I don't know.
His grief. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Back back to the episode. So, Christian and Sawyer are drinking at the bar. Christian is talking about his son, who Sawyer doesn't know is Jack, but he says that Jack is a great man, and he's actually really proud of him and really grateful for what Jack did when he reported the drinking on the job incident. So, that was really interesting to see, and I'm going to love when that eventually comes to the surface. Um, so Sawyer tells him that he has some business to take care of, and Christian's just like, "This business that you have, will it ease your suffering?" Which really stood out to me because, yeah, will killing this man actually ease your suffering, or is it going to just make it worse?
Right.
You know? Yeah. So we are back at the shrimp van. I guess murdering Frank Duckett is back on the menu. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, Sawyer,
Yeah.
goes back to the shrimp truck.
Not yeah. So Sawyer goes back to the shrimp shack. We are back in real time where Charlie is opening coconuts on the beach and Saeed approaches him. And Charlie immediately clocks that Saeed is there to check up on him and insists that Ethan deserved to die. Which, yeah, no doubting that. Like, the man was awful. And Saeed relates to him with one of his military stories involving volunteering for a firing squad after a fellow soldier's car was rigged with explosives. and that it killed his family. Basically, he was just like, hey, even when you feel as if you've done the right thing, it can still royally fuck you up because it's super traumatic. And then he says, you're not alone. Don't pretend to be. And I'm just over here like, come through mental health awareness in like 2004, because that was unheard of at the time. Like, yeah. So while they might have been very behind the times with some things, at least they were like ahead of the curve in other ways. Back with Kate and Sawyer, she found the boars wallow, which means that they might be close. Sawyer follows the squeals and finds a baby boar. Kate kicks him because he's going to take it, and he drops the baby. Good. She leaves him there. She leaves Sawyer there because good. Don't torture the baby boar just because you're mad at the big boar. We don't mess with baby animals over here, Sawyer. I don't care. Like, take your grief and anger somewhere else.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So we are now in what ultimately becomes our last flashback of the episode. It is raining, and I assume that we are closing in on Sawyer's revenge because, yep, he shoots Frank and reads him the letter. And Frank is just like, huh? What?
What are you talking
What?
about?
Yeah. So my exact reaction was, wait, was that not actually Sawyer? Bro, wait, him set him up?
Hibbs set him up. Frank Duckett is just a man who owes Hibbs money.
Shrimp.
Frank Duckett probably does have a past. That's how Hibbs knows him. He probably came to Hibbs to get money to probably start the shrimp truck,
Right.
to have a better life,
Not
and was
Sawyer.
making good on his rehabilitation and was having a good second life, and he probably owed Hibbs money. So Hibbs sent James Ford down to kill who he believed to be Mr. Sawyer.
Yep. So I was starting to think that the boar was some sort of representation of guilt over killing the wrong guy, and I thought the wrong guy was going to be Christian. I was not expecting Sawyer, Mr. Sawyer, to not be Mr. Sawyer. Like,
Yeah.
this show always keeps me on my toes, and I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So back in real time, Sawyer is stomping through the jungle trying to find his way home, and he comes face to face with the boar, and he's hesitating again because he got it wrong last time with Frank Duckett, and I don't think he's going to go through with killing this boar. He's a dick, but he's not a monster. He's just a dick. Back on the beach, Sun and Jin are casting a net. Walt is playing with Vincent. Claire is watching Michael and someone else build the raft. Charlie comes up and now asks if she wants to go on that walk. Very cute, very peaceful, blah, 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 like, let's act as if everything's normal and nothing bad has happened yet. Sawyer approaches Jack in the woods with the gun and hands it over. And then Jack says, that's why something, something, something. That's why the Sox will never win the series. And you just see the light switch click for Sawyer.
Sawyer realizes the man in the bar was Jack's dad.
Was
Shit,
his
shit.
Yes. Yes.
Did you
And I
also
was like, oh
catch?
shit.
Did you catch what Frank said after Sawyer shot him?
I did not. Or maybe I did, but it was so long ago that I forgot.
Frank tells him it'll come back around.
The whispering, yes.
The whispering.
Fuck, you're right.
That's why I know. That's why I corrected you to say the whispering is saying it'll come back around, because the whispering is saying the last things that Frank Duckett said to him before he died.
Interesting. So Saeed's whispering is most likely gonna be something else then.
Yeah.
Because he heard whispering, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Now,
I can't.
the whispering is something that happens. However, most of the time, it's not. It's not like
It's
you,
not like a targeted
no,
thing.
you can't really
Okay.
comprehend what it's saying, and I've never watched it with subtitles that I know of, but for the most part, I think the whispering is almost always just kind of like. It sounds like it was
Gotcha.
probably
Okay.
speech that was recorded, then reversed, and then turned into the whisper. That's what it
Gotcha.
sounds like. It
Okay.
sounds like reverse speech in the whisper. So, but then there are times where the whispering does get something out that's very clear and very, very deliberate.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what the whispering is, that we don't know.
So after that, I was like, oh shit, is Sawyer about to put two and two together, and sure enough, he did.
He does.
He knows that his dive bar bestie has died, and that's sad for him. But also, I cannot wait for that reveal.
When
Sawyer
how long it takes for Sawyer to do it, and for
Yes.
what and why does he finally reveal to Jack? By the way, I knew your daddy. And your daddy was proud of you. Like
Right, it's like, it's I don't think that it's going to come out in a nice time. I see it coming out when they're, like, arguing about something, or when he's being petty about something, or when Jack is just being uptight Jack. Like, I don't see him going, "Listen, man, so, I knew your dad in Australia, and he said X, Y, and Z." Like, I see it coming out in, like, a heat of the moment type situation where he's just vindictive about it. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But this episode had me going through it, and then at the end credits, I saw that Harold Perrineau's wife was in the episode, and I was like, "That's cool."
it's
Yeah. I do not remember, but she was in the episode. I'm gonna Google. Let's see.
she's the girl in the hotel room.
Voting. Yes, she's the hotel lady.
She's the girl in the hotel room. She's gonna turn up on another episode coming up soon.
Oh, okay. I will immediately close IMDb then. Um, yeah. I just happened to look up and I was like, "Wait a second. Okay." It was just a fun fact to me at the time.
It's cool. Okay. Cool.
But no, I loved this episode. Like, it was so well done and just did a really good job of tying things together while still expanding and making me eager to see what's next.
Mm-hmm. All right. So next up, we have In Translation, which is a Jin and Sun episode. And after
Okay.
that, we have Numbers. Numbers is a Hurley episode. And it is the first time you're
We
gonna
haven't
be
had one of those.
yeah. It's the first time you're ever going to be introduced to the numbers. The numbers being 3,
know
18,
those.
16, 23, and 42.
Okay.
So you will find out in numbers
That's one of the
how the numbers come into the show. And then it's fun to watch how the numbers expand.
Okay, wait, how many numbers were the numbers?
6,
Are we talking like
4, 8,
so
15,
like
16, 23, 42.
okay, okay. So like lottery ticket numbers.
Yes,
Amount of numbers. Okay.
fans actually have played the numbers, and they did actually win once. But there was like so many people that they each won like I
It
think
was
like
like
a couple
20
like 20. Yeah, they each won like nothing. But yeah,
Okay.
it did come up. Um, so yes, just like lottery numbers.
Okay.
That
Okay, noted.
may or may not be how they're introduced into the show in the first place.
That may or may not be how Hurley gets to Australia.
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. But as with Lost,
No, Hurley didn't win the lottery.
nothing is as it seems. So even if he did, get the numbers, use the numbers to the lottery, the numbers are bad.
Oh, clearly he was on a plane crash and he's on the island now. Winning the lottery didn't do shit
Where
for
did he
him.
get the numbers? So everything is nothing on Lost is as it seems. Everything is multi-leveled.
Yeah.
So just because those numbers, there's so much there. So it's there's I mean, Lost fans around the world. So many people have those numbers tattooed on them. I don't know what I would get
Yeah,
if I ever
I
got.
don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know what I would get if I ever got a Lost tattoo. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll have to think.
I don't know.
I'll have to think about that. What I would want, because I definitely wouldn't want the numbers. I don't want anything that is like very like everybody has it. If
But
I was to ever get
also,
a
like,
Lost tattoo, what would
I don't know. I just don't come for me, guys. But I don't like the idea of tattooing numbers on you.
that too?
That's a choice.
And on that
That's a
note,
choice. Yeah.
and on that note, thank you guys
don't
for
like that.
listening. Make sure you are subscribed and following on all of your favorite podcast platforms. I'm pretty sure we are on just about everybody now. So Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Pocket Cast, Google Podcast, and YouTube. That was something people wanted.
What?
I've not looked to see if it's actually done anything, but and they are out there. If you like to YouTube, it is not video of us. We don't post the video of us. I so
Nah, I look too much like a gremlin right now.
if you just want to watch, yeah, nothing but listen to the show on YouTube, you can. It's out there. So, but thank you guys for listening, and we will see you right back here next time on Not Pennies Podcast.